Hey folks, BoDean 52, hope you are well. In today's video, I am going to give you some tips and tricks on buying a used motorcycle. Stay tuned. Okay, as I was riding along going, I think I'll talk about buying a used motorcycle. It probably would have made more sense if I wasn't on my 2024 and I was on my 2000 Road King Classic, right? Okay, just let's imagine that I'm on Duke, my Road King Classic, will you? Work with me here, work with me. Okay, BoDean, focus, dude, focus. Okay, number one, when I was deciding to buy an older motorcycle and I really wanted a Road King, I looked for a long time to find the right bike, the right mileage. I was going back and forth between a Road King and another couple different bikes, and I just did a lot of looking around in the used bike market. I probably looked for what I considered my 2000 Road King Classic as the perfect bike for me. I looked for at least a year. One of the mistakes I made, we can call this number 2 or not. I'm not going to name the number of these because there's a ton of them. The mistake that I made was I did not, and I am suggesting to you, do research on that year bike or around those years to find out if they had any inherent problems at all, right? Speaking of inherent problems, what are y'all doing? Oh yeah, I know what they're doing. This is the one twisty road in Michigan. That's what they're doing. I think I should bring my GT out. What do you guys think? Okay, focus, BoDean, focus. Back to it. In some of the older Road Kings, there was a cam tensioner chain problem. I'll put a video probably at the end of this. At the end of this video, I'll put a link to another one that shows you exactly what I'm talking about and what I did to get it ultimately fixed before it failed. But I did not look of, hey, is there any inherent problems back then? So while I'm searching for a new bike, do I really want to buy or look at that one if it has some problems? Now, I'm probably glad that I didn't, because maybe it would have swayed me away from the Road King, because the cam tensioner chain, now some guys can do it themselves, that I had done with some other stuff, it wasn't free, right? It definitely wasn't free. So my suggestion is to make sure that when you're searching for the type of bike that you want, that you do some history on, do they inherently have any problems? All right, next one. Make sure, and I'm sure this is easily said, right? Make sure that you are going to test ride the bike. If guys don't want to let you test ride it, obviously you buy it, you break it, they want the keys to your truck before you go or something to protect themselves. I get that, but you need to test ride it. But more importantly, and let me give you an example, test ride it how you would ride it. So, example, I just bought, if you follow the channel, a 2007 Mustang GT, and I took it out for a ride, and it's a quick car. I took it out for a ride. The guy was in the passenger seat. Man, I was babying that thing, man. I don't know, 2,000 RPMs. I don't know, it redlines at like 6, right? And I'm like, I'm just kind of taking it easy, and I'm like, man, I really like this car. I just wonder how it does. And the guy, we stopped at a stop sign, and the guy goes, "It's okay." I'm like, "It's okay?" He's like, "Yeah, you can get on it." And then I tore it up with the guy, right? I told the guys we were pulling in this driveway, I'm like, this was a bad idea. He goes, "Yeah, same thing happened to me," right? Needless to say, it's now in my garage. So why I say that and tell you that story is, make sure if you're going out and riding it, that you are going to test ride it how you are going to use that motorcycle. So if you're just kind of putzing around and stuff, putz around. If every now and then you're going to do some interstate stuff, get on the interstate. If you're a little concerned because it's going to be a 2-up bike and you want to make sure it has enough power, you know what? Get on an on-ramp to an interstate and hit it. Make sure that you got what you need. But make sure to use that test ride as, will this fit my riding style? The next one, and for me, I would tell you that I am a maintenance and light repair type guy working on motorcycles. Anything that's major, I do get serviced. I have no problem with that, right? From a time perspective, that's what I need to do. And when you go buy a motorcycle, you're kind of wanting to make sure that, man, am I buying a piece of crap or what do I got? So I can give you all the hints about, you know, is there any oil leaking? Does it look dry? How do the tires look? You know, what's the date on the tires? Because when I bought my Road King Classic, the tires looked good, but they were really old, right? So I ended up replacing them, but I surely didn't think I was going to have to when I bought the bike. So you're going to have to try to assess those things that you know you need to go check.
Ask Mrs. BoDean. This came from Motorcycle Den. Here's a question for your Q&A. Feel free to skip it if it's too touchy. Nothing's too touchy.
For you.
What are you saying? I know what answer Mrs. Den would give, but I want to hear it from Mrs. BoDean. Does your motorcycle hobby affect your marriage in a negative way, or does the marriage affect your motorcycle hobby in a negative way? Does my YouTube and motorcycle riding affect our marriage?
No.
Is that just because you want to get rid of me?
No. It's a happy marriage is when both can do what they want to do.
Words of Wisdom by Mrs. BoDean. We'll see you on the next one.
On the bike. So a couple hints. Number one, and I do this whether it's a car purchased, used, or a motorcycle. As soon as you get there, before you're going to test ride it, find out if that motorcycle's hot. I want to know if the guy started the bike or the car to get it warmed up to hide anything before I take it out. I want a dead cold start to really know what I have. Now, there are some people that will say, I want to take it to a mechanic. I want to go spend $100 on this bike knowing I may not buy it and take it to a mechanic and get it looked at. It's not a dealership pre-owned and checked. You're buying it off some dude and you're like, I want to go get it checked out. Now, I personally don't know how many will do that. I will tell you, if you were buying one of my used bikes, I would not let you do that. Not because I'm worried about anything, but no, I'm not letting you drive my bike to a dealership or somewhere else and do an assessment on it when I can sell it to others. I'm just not going to go through that, right? So that is something that you can ask, and even if they say no, maybe their reaction to how you ask the question may tell you a lot. What are all these people out here today? Don't they know I'm coming out for a ride? So consider asking that. Oh man, shouldn't there be a notice that comes out? You know, like when there's a weather alert or an amber alert and it comes out on your phone, beep 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 beep. Shouldn't they have that when I'm coming out to ride? I know, I'm not comparing it to a lost child. Relax, take a pill. As Mrs. BoDean would say, bite me. I'm too old to say bite me, all right? You know, there's a dude the other day that made a comment on one of my videos, and I forgot what he said. He goes, hey, look, you're too old to say this word. And I'm just like, he hit me at the wrong time. Normally I would just say, thanks for watching. I'd hit the thumbs up button so I didn't say anything stupid. But he caught me in one of those moods. And I'm like, dude, two things. Oh, it was kinda. So look back at this video, see how many times I kinda say kinda. So my response to the guy was, I kinda like saying kinda. And as a matter of fact, the only person that can tell me what I should or shouldn't do, she's buried 6 feet under and she's been dead for years, and that was called my mom. So, and I'm like, man, a new subscriber to the channel or a new guy looking at my video? That's weird. So I kind of clicked on his video or on his channel, and I realized the guy's been commenting on my videos for like a couple of years. So, dude, I'm sorry, but my subscriber count went down after that one, so I'm figuring that dude is gone. But look, don't tell me what to do. I'm a grown-ass man. What are you thinking about? Okay, where was I? Oh, we were talking about getting the bike looked at. So most people aren't going to do that. So if you are seriously uncomfortable, bring a friend. Whether it's a buddy, it's a girlfriend, another biker, something, and go, hey, let's go look at this bike together. I'd like a second opinion. And between that and all the things that you know is right to check on a new car or a new motorcycle, you're more than likely going to end up in a really good spot. When I bought my Road King, I immediately took it over to a guy in town that works on older Harleys, because dealerships don't want to work on those older bikes. They don't train their guys that way, and there's probably not a whole lot of money in it to it, is really the reason that they probably don't do it. But just go ahead and make sure that you feel comfortable leaving there. When I recently bought my Mustang, I didn't know when the oil was changed. I didn't know how many miles were year to year. I mean, I could do a search on the car, but I took it over to a dealership that worked on some muscle cars, and they put it up on the lift, took me under it, and they said, man, this thing is in great shape. And honestly, I did not get after it in that car. Now, I did on the test ride, but I did not get on it in that car until after that inspection. So feel uncomfortable even when you get it, because you want to make sure that you're feeling good out on it and not going, what's going to go wrong. Let's go ahead and take it over somewhere. Get the oil changed. I want the fluids changed out anyway, because I don't know when it's been done. If you're not going to do that yourself, then take it over and have it done. Give you some peace of mind. As we ride through this little town called Stockbridge, Michigan, they actually have twice a year they have a little bike show, I guess it is, where there's bikes all over the place, which is kind of cool event to come to. It's a cute little town. It's funny, I think I have a couple folks that follow the channel from this area, and they're like, no, we don't like it. I guess it's like your old town when you're a kid. You're like, man, I want to get out of here. But then you're kind of like, why do other people like the town that I don't like? I don't know. It's just, I don't know, kind of old and kind of cool, which is why I like it. So focus, BoDean. I am all over the place. Can you tell I haven't been out riding all year? I'm having focus issues. If you follow my channel, you'll know that is my middle name, Bo Focus Dean 52 for sure. So here's the other thing, and it is hard sometimes, at least with me, about when I make my mind up on something. It's I'm probably all in. You may be able to talk me out of it, but it's probably going to be hard. Matter of fact, if Mrs. BoDean sees me watching a YouTube video, let's just say it's on a knife, and she sees that I watch a couple knife videos, which is out of character for me, and I'm not buying knives, by the way, and she would say to me, she goes, so when we get the new knives, or the new knife? I'm like, what are you talking about? She's like, dude, when your mind is set on something. And I'm like, okay, all right, fine. By the way, I bought a house without her knowing about it one time. I relocated her and bought a new house and didn't tell her until I showed it to her. That's a whole different video. That's the nut job you're watching, right? So if you're one of the ladies watching my channels, I'm sorry, I apologize. She liked it, it all worked out. Okay, focus, BoDean, focus. All right, back. It's like anything. Make sure, even if you are like, oh my God, that is the bike, make sure that you're taking a step back, you're going to ride it, you're checking the miles, you're hearing the story of where it's been, and you are comparing it to others, to other bikes. You need to make sure that you are not making a mistake, or maybe it's not a mistake, but there's something that's maybe even better out there, that your rush to get it stopped you, right? Like you bought something, you go, oh man, I wish I bought that instead. Don't get that feeling. Make sure that you're spending some time researching, and don't be in a rush. And God forbid, don't let the person know that you're trying to buy a motorcycle for, a car, or anything else, that you are in love with it. It's just a bad call. It's just going to cost you. Those those people have those tornado sirens out in their front yard? Huh. I wonder what's going on there. Why don't you leave it in the comments? What do you think that the tornado siren people with stuff, those in their front yard are doing? I think they're cool looking. I'm just not sure I'd have them in my front yard, though. I may put them on the top, which would be kind of cool. Maybe I'll go back and do a video and ask Miss BoDean will come out. She's like, are we buying a tornado siren? What are we doing here? What are we doing here, BoDean? What are we doing here, dude? Because she does call me BoDean 52, by the way, just so you know. Sometimes she leaves the 52 out, but don't get too excited about that bike, because you know what? There's always a bigger bike. There's always a better bike. There's always one with low miles. You will find it. You just have to be patient. So if you are new to my channel, you will realize that I, over the last 2 or 3 videos, have been in multiple places. I've been, go buy a new bike, that's what you should do, here's all the reasons why. Go buy a used bike, here's all the reasons why. And now I'm giving you tips on buying a used bike. There is a reason I'm not giving you tips on buying a new motorcycle, because in my mind, and I'm fortunate to have one of each, if I only had one choice, I would, without a doubt, go find that right motorcycle. Hopefully using some of the tips that I just gave you may help, and save a bunch of money, because you could probably buy 3 or 4 or 5 of them for the price that some of these new motorcycles are costing. I'll tell you what, I am a big proponent of buying a motorcycle used. You do the best you can with the tips I gave you, and if you have any other tips, like right now, which is like leave a little bit earlier so it doesn't rain on you when you're 30 minutes from your house, that would be appreciated if you leave that in the comment section, because I thought I timed this right to not get rained on, but that's okay. I mean, my rain suit's in the garage, right? What could go wrong? If you have some tips that I haven't talked about, hey, leave those in the comment section. Let's make sure that we are helping each other out, because we are a community of brothers and sisters. Y'all be safe. I'll see you on the next one. Most importantly, take a few minutes today. Just call a buddy, a girlfriend, whatever, and check out, see how they're doing. Y'all be safe now.
Mrs. BoDean by my side, we'll take Harley for a ride. I love you all like I love